Dan Tortora here of Wake Up Call, and this is another edition of Who's Got Next, proudly presented exclusively by Game Point Sports Complex on 211 South Center Street in East Syracuse, the home of many different sports, but for the first time ever here on Wake Up Call in Who's Got Next, we get to talk about pickleball. And I am here with Brook Bregman here, the CNY organizer of all things pickleball. And I've gotten to hear a lot of things about your connection to pickleball, so your reputation precedes you, I will say that in a positive way. But happy to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So, Brook, how did you get into pickleball? I guess we'll start there.
So I began playing at Elevate Fitness back about 4 years ago, and they had open play where you just come in on your own and learn the sport with everyone else who's there. And I immediately loved it, picked it up, and wanted to play more. So I started playing everywhere where there was pickleball in the area. There were far less courts than we have now, but there were still options around town. And I met a bunch of wonderful people.
So for you, I mean, I know there's indoor courts and there's outdoor courts. Did you have a preference when you started playing? Did it matter?
I think that it didn't matter right in the beginning.
Okay.
But I also started on the real surface.
Okay. So you getting involved in this, like, what kind of made you fall in love with it?
The people, for sure. The community, number one. I happened to also pick it up quickly. It's the first sport I ever found like I could possibly be good at, so that was a bonus. But the community was just so nice and welcoming. Whether you're good or not, they want to play with you.
And that's what I've heard a lot about, you know, Central and Upstate New York, that it just kind of over the years felt like, because I have friends that play, they just felt welcome. They felt like, hey, if you go to a court, you don't know anybody, that people will just bring you right in. Have you always kind of felt that community welcoming, so to speak, that you've talked about?
Yeah, that's a typical thing of the pickleball community, not just here in Central New York, but everywhere. The people who play are there for good competition and exercise, but even more so because they know they're going to generally get along. They become friends with each other that hang out outside of pickleball, and it's known about pickleball everywhere.
So when you travel, like when you're outside of this area, outside of the state and whatnot, do you try to find places to play? Like, is the community kind of connected where people say like, hey, if you're in PA, try this place, or if you're down in Florida?
You can find them pretty easily. If you know, I haven't known somebody who sent me to a place, but just if you go on Google and you find the biggest place, you know there's going to be open play in the morning, you join in, or leveled play depending on the spot. I've even played in England back before they really had almost anyone, so I was probably one of only 10 people there, so maybe I got to be the best player in all of England for a couple minutes.
That's a good thing. How did that happen?
They had one gym in London. It's the only one in the whole country, and we were already playing over here. So while I was visiting over there, I went over and showed them how it was done. But now they've got fantastic players there. So
I know former tennis players that, you know, played collegiately or played growing up, and they said this is what they've transitioned into. Speak to kind of like that connection. Do you feel like a lot of tennis players kind of find their way to pickleball?
Yes. So some say it's easier on the body, on the knees, because of the fact that you're covering less space.
Okay.
It's still, some studies have shown, just as good of a workout for people if you are moving all the time. But the fact that you're not going side to side on as big of a space leaves it easier on your knees. And now they have technology in a lot of the floors that makes it easier on your body. So people do move into it, and they have an advantage if they're coming from tennis because they already make great contact with the ball. But they also have some disadvantages because they're not good at the soft game and the net game.
So Game Point Sports, bring me into the connection that you made here with it being open, not even a year at the time that we're talking. How did you connect with Jim Dispenza and Game Point?
So I had talked to him when he was building the place, and he had dreams of opening with pickleball available, which is a good idea because we know how popular it is. And he just wanted to know how to get in touch with the community. So since I coordinate for the thousands of players in town, he wanted to know how to reach them. So we put out information about free times to play, memberships. I came in and offered to teach a little bit if people needed it. And now they've got all the best nets, and since he hadn't really played or been in the community much before, it's just helpful to have some insight into what players are looking for.
So being a bridge to the community for Game Point to pickleball, what has that meant for you to be that bridge?
It was great to be able to show the place off during, they had free open house type days, and to see everybody come in and enjoy it is wonderful, because it is such a beautiful new space. And if there are more opportunities in the future where there's programs that are being run, then I always love to be able to bring courts to players and players to courts.
And when you kind of look at the setup here, you know, people walk in here and they see these two beautiful gyms. Bring me into like how pickleball is set up here, just kind of what the process is when you are teaching or playing here at Game Point.
So there are portable nets here that they set up when they are going to play, and they set those up on the basketball courts. They're off to the side now, so you just bring them over. Very easy process. Most people right now would just be renting court time with their friends if they needed a place to play, and there isn't as much open play here where you come alone and join in with a group yet, but right now it's a court rental. If you're looking for a place that has a great net and great space, good lighting, then they will call and rent that space.
What's it been like for you to have Game Point as a place where you can play and train and have this sport that you love that's right here in the community in a new center?
Jim has been great and welcoming, and just being in here, it's so nice with again all that light, and the fact that I get to come in and see other people happy is always what I'm looking for. So
we're going into 2026. What do you hope for when it comes to pickleball, Game Point? What are kind of your thoughts as you go forward into the new year?
I completely leave that up to Jim, so I won't pretend to have my own thoughts about it really, but if there's ever a program that he wants to start up, then I would be happy to help out.
I know when you walk in, there's a sign for pickleball to sign up, a QR code and all of that to make it accessible to people. Do you feel like you can reach people that play other sports? Like if somebody comes in here for basketball or volleyball or whatnot, do you feel like, hey, since that's right there, right at the front desk, maybe I can, you know, reach some minds and hearts that pickleball wouldn't have?
I think the more exposure to it they have, the better. Before, it used to be a sport that was just for older people, but that was only because we only had access to courts during the day. And now that we have more facilities, we have access to courts in the evening too, when younger people can play. And now there's both young and old people playing. So the more they see it, if they see other younger people playing, if they just hear about it more, the more they're likely to get into it.
And what's it like now? Like you said, age range was older, now there's more younger people playing. Do you really feel like here in Central New York that it's just all different ages and you know, all different backgrounds, athletes, the people that were athletes were never athletes?
Just as many younger people. The rate of joining now is higher for younger than older people, but across the board, I think it's about equal now in Central New York. There are so many 20-somethings that are playing, and they have that, you know, natural quickness still that gives them a little advantage, so it's always fun to play with them.
Do you feel like, I mean, when you're training in this world, I mean, is that something that you love? Do you love like the one-on-one teaching aspect of it, not just playing? Do you like kind of bringing somebody into the sport itself?
I like group teaching is my favorite, so I like beginner intros. When I get 40 people who have never touched a paddle before and they all come in and they spend 1 hour learning the sport and they're so happy, and then from that point on they can go out and join open play with the rest of the community.
So kind of a final note, two final pieces here, one of them being why, if somebody knows nothing about pickleball at all and they bump into you in the community and they say, why should I give it a shot? Why should I give it a try? What would be your like elevator pitch for pickleball?
It has a really low barrier for entry, so almost anyone can get to a point at this sport where they will have fun in just 1 or 2 times. It's difficult to get to the highest levels, but almost everybody can, after 1 or 2 times, have a great time playing the sport, which isn't true for everything else. I could not just go out there and after a day play football and have a good time.
That's true. That's fair. Final note, I mean, this being a, you know, natural light facility that has, you know, climate control, it's obviously contained under walls and roofs. So in the crazy weather we get in central New York, it's consistent inside a game point. What does that do when you talk about organizing pickleball in central New York? What does a facility like this do to create that year-round 365 opportunity to play despite the elements?
It's really helpful to have these. We did have such a shortage of places to play indoors 4 years ago. There was only, the YMCA was pretty much the only place, and you had to be a member. And now we have lots of great options, including this one. And so people don't have to give that sport up just because it's snowing. They can practice year-round, and allows them to get better constantly.
Game Point Sports Complex, 211 South Center Street in East Syracuse. To book time for yourself or a group, go to gamepointsports-syr.com/courts. And of course, happy to finally put a spotlight here on the show with pickleball. And I was told if I'm going to talk to anybody in the community about pickleball, it was Brooke. So Brooke, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Y'all be safe. We'll talk with you soon.